Celtic £3.5 million star could become real top player. Leipzig suffer yet another heavy defeat with Celtic on the horizon. And Celtic are keeping tabs on Israeli wunderkind, Oscar Gloukh. Celtic winger Liel Abada could become a real top player in the not-too-distant future if he continues to improve, according to journalist Peter Rourke. The 20-year-old has become a key part of Ange Postecoglou's side during his short time at the club, and is only likely to go from strength to strength given he is in the early stages of his career. Abada arrived at Celtic in the summer of 2021 via a £3.5 million move from Maccabi Petah Tikva, as Postecoglou oversaw a mass overhaul of the first-team squad during his first few months at the helm. O'Rourke believes that Abada's exposure to Champions League football will also be beneficial to his development and aid the rapid rise he is enjoying at present. In an interview with Give Me Sport, he said, "I think Liel Abada could become a real top player in the future if he continues his rapid rise. And Celtic fans will be hoping that will continue at Celtic Park as well, because he's only going to get better and better, I think, in my opinion, especially if he's playing at the highest level in the Champions League. It'll only improve his game." And talking about the Champions League, RB Leipzig has suffered their fourth defeat in 5 matches this evening, losing 3-0 away to Borussia Mönchengladbach. Jonas Hoffmann scored a double in the first half, before Roma Benzabene piled on the misery after the break. It leaves Leipzig firmly mid-table in Bundesliga. Remarkably, it's the third time they've lost by 3 goals or more in the same period, following similarly humiliating results against Eintracht Frankfurt and Shakhtar Donetsk. Celtic will travel to Germany on the 5th of October, before hosting a massive clash in Glasgow on the 11th of October. The games will determine the direction of Group F and whether or not the boys are fighting for second or third in the group. With Leipzig carrying a number of key injuries also, they have a long international break to stew things over. Hopefully, it creates a situation that Ange Postecoglou's Celtic team can take advantage of. Celtic are keeping tabs on Israeli wunderkid Oscar Gloukh. The 18-year-old attacking midfielder is under contract at Maccabi Tel Aviv until June 2024 and has been watched by Hoops scouts since the start of the season. Just a month after taking over as Neil Lennon's long-term successor, Ange Postecoglou raided the Israel market for one of his first buys for the club when he paid £3.5 million for goal-scoring winger Liel Abada from Hapoel Petah Tikva. Have maintained as interest in the country's top talent, and others such as New Bitten, Ismail Assoro, Hatem Abd El-Hamd and Berham Kale have joined the Parkhead outfit in recent years. Postecoglou and recruitment chief Mark Lawwell are planning ahead to cover all eventualities in the January transfer window. The World Cup finals in November and December could trigger interest in the champions contingent, with Kyogo Furuhashi, Rio Hat8, and Daizen Maeda, all likely to be involved with Japan. Cameron Carter-Vickers, USA, Josip Juranovic, Croatia, and Aaron Mooy, Australia, could also shine during football's extravaganza in Qatar. Outstanding performances will undoubtedly attract the attention of cash-rich clubs, who could attempt to make the Parkhead club offers they cannot refuse. Postecoglou has been putting a program in place, and that could be triggered if there is a frenzy on the sales front at the turn of the year. An impressive teen Gloukh, valued by his club around the £8 million mark, is one who is interesting the Greek-Australian gaffer. Another starlet, who is on his radar, is exciting Aussie 17-year-old forward Guyan Kuol, who has scored 4 goals in his first 7 games for Tom Rogitt's former club, Central Coast Mariners. The A-League sensation has just been called into the Socceroos squad for 2 friendly games against New Zealand on Thursday and a week today. Mooy is also likely to play in the warm-up games. Asked if the next window could be busier than normal in the fallout of the World Cup, Postecoglou answered, "Yeah, you're right. And that's part of it. We showed last year that we always want to stay ahead of the game. Last January, without certainty or being able to predict the future, we thought about certain positions and what was needed. We're doing the same again this year. We have already started planning and have identified the targets that we need. We will look to bring in players in January that hopefully then insulates us in case any of our players are taken off our hands. It's part of our planning and we are well underway in ensuring we are ready for that. Postecoglou, speaking to the Daily Record, added, "Mark knows how I look at things and we are planning for the next 2, 3, 4 windows and trying to project what gaps we potentially might have. We look at the age demographic of our list, and we have a lot in the younger bracket at the moment. We know that in the next few years that will progress, and some of our players will move on. So, we've got to make sure that we have players in the age group underneath, who we can bring in and develop. You don't just look at what the immediate concerns are, you look at medium-term and long-term issues as well. That's just as important. I just love the big fella. And on that note, have a great day, Celtic fans all around the world."
Lit. Roll up to the party, roll up to the party, roll up to the party.